until I got the urge once again to make a run at making the Dave Murray Stratoclanster. Stratoclanster? What did I say I wanted to call this? Stratoclonster. That's what I said. I'm doing this in one take, by the way. I'd be damned if I'm going back to redo it again. Hey everybody, just me again, Wayne. And let's start with a warning. I'm not going to show you how to modify your guitar. I'm just going to show you how I modified mine. I'm not a luthier, I'm not a professional repair guitar guy, and this will be the third run that I have taken at this particular project. So, you have been warned about doing things the way that I'm doing them. But if you can pick up anything useful from this, great. Now, my original intention was to turn a $99 mono-price Indio Cali Classic into what I think of as a Stratoclonster, a replica, more or less, of Dave Murray's famous black Strat. Dave Murray of Iron Maiden, but you knew that. Now, I never wanted the guitar to sound exactly like Dave Murray's guitar, because Dave's sound has evolved over the years. He's switched pickup companies and stuff like that. And mostly because we know most of the sound of a guitar comes from the player. And not to put too fine a point on this, but he's Dave Murray, and I'm not, and I never will be. But I do want to come up with something that looks a lot like Dave Murray's famous black Strat. And why is that? Because it's Dave Murray's famous black Strat, and Iron Maiden is my favorite band. And it should be noted that Dave Murray has used several black Strats over the years that all look kind of, but not exactly the same. At least one of them had or has a locking nut, whereas the original one didn't. The pickups on the original were DiMarzio's, and I think he's using Seymour Duncan's now. And he's never had a Wilkinson tremolo system, as far as I know, which is what I'm going to be putting on this one. So the beast I'm assembling will kind of have that Dave Murray black Strat vibe, but it certainly won't look exactly like any of the black Strats that Dave Murray has had. And if at some point in the future I get the urge to revisit this and try to make the guitar look even more like Dave Murray's, and if I have the cash, then I will spring for one of those necks that has the big honkin' 70s style, Fender headstock on it. But right now, I'm on a tight budget, so I just can't justify laying out that kind of cash. Anyway, as documented in some earlier videos, I settled for a Dave Murray blue Strat vibe, even though, as far as I know, Dave Murray has never had a blue Strat, or at least hasn't been photographed in public with one. That's because the cheapest Indio Cali Classic I could find was blue. And having played two other Indio Cali Classics, I knew that they played pretty well, and they sounded pretty good, and so that's what I wanted to use. I didn't want to take a chance with a Glary or some other very inexpensive guitar. Nothing against Glaries or Sawtooth or any other inexpensive guitar. I just, I was comfortable with an Indio, and I thought, well, okay, that's what I want to use for this. So I ordered some new hardware and I got to work. And the long and the short of it is that I messed up that original guitar pretty well for several reasons. Some having to do with the construction of the guitar, and most having to do with my just not really knowing what I was doing. But I played the guitar that way for a few months anyway, until I got the urge once again to make a run at making the Dave Murray Stratoclanster. Stratoclanster? What did I say I wanted to call this? Stratoclonster. That's what I said. I'm doing this in one take, by the way. I'd be damned if I'm going back to redo it again. But I thought, what I'll do is I'll take that original body and I'll sand it down and I'll paint it, and that'll be great. But I didn't do that because, frankly, it turns out that sanding down a guitar body and then painting it, well, is a huge pain in the ass. So I thought, well, why not just get a different body? Because they're stupidly expensive, that's why. Even used ones, even unfinished ones. The cheapest body I could find was still over $100, and it was made of candlewood. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, there's an ash tree. Oh, there's a beech tree. Ah, look at that fabulous oak tree. Yeah, but check out this candle tree. What the f*** is that? I mean, seriously. So I went, yeah, no. So instead, I just ordered a whole new guitar. I ordered another Indio Cali Classic, this time in black. And it cost me under $100. It cost me less than just ordering an unfinished guitar body made from candlewood. Between this guitar's body, the neck from the original Indio and the hardware that I accumulated during that first modification and have picked up along the way. I've pretty much got the components now to make my Dave Murray Stratoclonster, if I can do it. So, including the stuff that I already had, here's the material that I needed for this project. Well, a guitar body, obviously, and a guitar neck with a maple fretboard. Got those. A new white pick guard that is designed for, an HSH pickup configuration. Some pickup rings, 2 rings, one to go around each humbucking pickup. A pre-wired quick plug harness from a Guitar Fetish, or GFS as they apparently prefer to be called now. You see, my soldering skills blow, and with the quick plug system you can literally just plug in your pickups to the pre-wired harness and you're good to go. So along with that, I got 2 quick plug pickups from GFS. I got a new pickup for the bridge position. I got a Dragonfire Screamer, because the bridge pickup I put on the original guitar that I modded was closed, but for that Dave Murray look, we need an open pickup. And the Dragonfire Screamer is pretty cheap, and apparently they sound pretty good. I hope, crossing my fingers, so I ordered one of those. I got an adapter from GFS so that I can use the Dragonfire Screamer with the quick plug harness. A Wilkinson 2-post knife edge vibrato bridge, a set of hip shot locking tuners, jumbo fret wire, a pincher so I can remove the old fret wire, and a snipper so that I can, trim it to the appropriate length. Now that sounds like a lot of stuff, and I guess it is. But considering that it was spread out, the acquisition of this was spread out over a year, that's not too bad, and the whole thing comes out to just slightly over $300. And if the guitar plays as well as the Indios played when I took them out of the box, great. And if it sounds as good as I hope it will sound, and if it looks cool like I hope it will look, then $300 is actually a bargain for what I hope I will end up with. Now there are 3 potential videos here. One of them, the one you're watching, is about turning my Indio Cali Classic into a Dave Murray Stratoclonster. The second video, which I might make, is just about all the things that I fucked up along the way. And if I make that video, it'll probably just be clips of me cursing and pictures of the bad things done to the guitar, but we'll see. And the third video, which I do intend to make, is about using all the leftover parts to turn my original blue Indio into a metal machine of its own. So, that's the intro, that's my goal, that's the stuff that I'm going to use. Let's get at it.